Good morning, ladies. We're here healing the sex glands and organs for women this morning. We're going to be doing our regeneration. It's an exciting day today. So please do sign in. Let me know who's here, where you're calling in from. Adalia and I are having a cup of tea. Adalia happens to have picked up liking tea over the holidays. Her grandma from Germany introduced her to tea in a bottle. And ever since, she likes a little bit of herbal tea. Oh, did you get it down the wrong throat? Did you get it down the wrong throat? Yeah? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, such a big girl. So, yeah, there we go. You got to pay attention to which throat you're putting it down, sweetie pie. So, today we're not going to be doing clearing. We're going to be regenerating all of your beautiful girl parts one by one, and working with the master cells in the whole female body, including the uterus and cervix, the ovaries and fallopian tubes, the vagina and labia, clitoris. So the whole workings down there. We're going to work on regenerating and starting a cascade of new cell growth for you in the baby making equipment, so to speak. But obviously, many of us aren't making babies, but we're going to regenerate all of that. So welcome. Oh, and here we're seeing people sign on: Kathleen Lou, and Christine, and Penny May, and Evelyn, and Bee, and Letitia. And oh, yeah, she does. She's feeling a little kind of out of sorts. She's been feeling out of sorts, and she doesn't like tight clothes, so we put her in all kind of super soft, kind of fluffy, a little bit big for her clothes that she likes to wear this when she's feeling a little kind of just not good in her skin. So yeah, she's a cutie pie. Let's see, and Kristen and Bee, yes, she does. That's a cute hat. Thank you. Oh, and it matches her little dress. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a hat, and then it's got a little scarf. It's a little fashion with a day. Why would they make a scarf for babies when babies don't have necks? But it turns out that it's nice. They can chew on it. It's a nice little something extra. Yeah. And Nellie and Pamela and Marion. Good morning. And Marion's from Ireland. Beautiful. So. Okay, girls, we're going to start the regeneration process. And before we do, though, of course, we'll do our opening affirmation and then our blessing to remove obstacles. So let's start with the love wisdom affirmation. I am free to live a life of spiritual freedom and full self-expression, liberated in love, gratitude, and mastery in this body here and now. My spirit is limitless. I am responsible for any limits I experience in this body and have complete access to the divine through prayer and contemplation to release myself from any human bonds I have worn as spiritual clothing that no longer resonate with my essence. Vakaratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Devo Sarva Kayeshu Sarvada. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parat Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatiye Swaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. you, honey. Okay, and we'll go through the quantum pump and the muscle testing demo, and then we'll get started on the full regeneration. We're going to regenerate this, everything, the whole kit and caboodle here. Okay, and let's see here. In regeneration, the pump that you're going to be using is the standard quantum pump, is the best. So that's this one. So the elbow is down at the side and the hand is falling forward. Elbow down at the side, hand falling forward. Honey, do you want to pump with mommy? Oh, big burp. Oh, good girl. Do you want to pump with mommy? You can pump with mommy if you want to. Okay, we figure it out when you're ready. Yeah. And so this is what we're going to be doing for 2 hours, is the pump. You can also do the double pump, which is, there we go, like that. Yeah, exactly, like that. And then platter we're not going to be using today, but we used it last week. So just to review, if you need to do more clearing, the platter's hand facing forward, palm facing up. Again, remembering that you're not really contorting your wrist in any way. You're keeping your wrist kind of neutral. And that really helps with giving you stamina for your hand movement for a long period of time. And, you know, there are two kinds of physics. The reason that this works is we're accessing the quantum pleasure field. There's the physics of Newtonian physics, which is the apple falling from the tree. What you see is what you get. Gravity, that kind of stuff. And then there's quantum physics, which is we're all part of a field of particles vibrating. And based on how the particles are vibrating, you get flowers, or you get a baby, or you get Julie Renee, or you get a swing. And we're rearranging those particles so they vibrate in a better situation for you. So it's not energy work technically, it's rearranging particles, setting an intention or a knowing. So it's beyond intention, it's knowing. You're clearing something or you're regenerating something. You're setting the knowing that this is happening, and then you're activating it with your hand, whether it's the platter or the pump. So that's just a real simple, basic explanation. You want to get really into it, come into the Diamond class. That's where we have more esoteric and deeper conversations about this kind of stuff. And I see some more people have signed in. Paula, Oksana. Hi, Oksana. So nice to see you here. Jackie, Oksana's been with us a few years now. Saval, good morning, Saval. And Rosa, hi, honey. Annalise, oh, beautiful, Julie. And God is so happy to see you here and for the sacred healing. Wonderful, Annalise. And Colleen Madonna, good morning. And Maria. And thank you so much from Honduras. How fantastic. So we've got people from all over the world. I love this. We counted up, we had people from 64 countries coming into our trainings, which is a pretty wonderful thing to say, yeah, we're known, we're out there. So happy to have each one of you here. Okay, so we're gonna begin connecting with our master cells in all parts of the female equipment. This is essentially what we're regenerating, girls. So all of these pieces are being regenerated. And let's see, so we're going to be connecting with about 70 master cells to get this done. 70 master cells. So everybody's pumping now. And how many stem cells for the whole kit and caboodle? Yeah, a lot. So maybe 40,000 or more stem cells. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're starting with the pumping. And remember that we're connecting with the master cell in the human blueprint, and we're bringing that perfected cell into physical form. So we're bringing that into physical form just by pumping, and into physical form in your body where your master cells are. So they're starting to become, your master cell is starting to become perfected. And when I first saw this happening for myself in my garden many years ago, what I saw was the cell eventually going to its divine state. And that was pretty mind-blowing for me at the time. What I saw was that it became this pulsing blue orb. Now, you may not have that experience. You may not see that. But we will get all those we'll get all of those master cells and stem cells in great shape. And then once we do that, we'll start a cascade of new cell growth. Now, a cell and the cells down in the female baby making equipment do look pretty much like this. A master cell looks pretty much like this with all of these different parts. And this part down here, if you can see the little arrow moving, the mitochondria is where the information for regeneration happens. And we're going to be pressing on that program and starting a cascade of new cell growth. We activate in that same location, we activate a mirroring process. So the light of the cell, so we get the light of the cell going. And we mirror all the 100% healthy stem cells and master cells to all the cells. So not all cells are obviously stem cells or master cells. And once we've gotten through the mirroring process, and sometimes you'll feel like a flood of light going through the body with the mirroring process, then we can activate the cascade of new cell growth which is started from the mitochondria. So started from this little organelle in the master cells. So that is our process for today. And we're just going to be pumping all day and having a lovely, lovely time together, working on getting a good regeneration going. And I just was wondering, did anybody notice their body felt better, or their female body felt a lot better, clearer this week, having removed all of, hi Mary, having removed all of the spiritual interferences and anchors and all of that gunk that was in there that we worked on for 2 hours last week. So did anybody notice a shift? Adelia loves being in the women's classes. She's a chatty box, huh? You get so excited when you're with the girls. Yeah. You're such a chatterbox when you're with the girls. Oh, hi, Joan. Here we go. So today's all about pumping. By the way, I heard your request from last week. Let me show you. We added a few things. I can pull up 1 second here. We added some new things to our calendar. I think you're going to be really happy to see. Let's see here. What a big girl you are, making so many funny sounds. Are you talking? So while we're just continuing to regenerate, I wanted to show you that February, we've decided to make the month of love. And so what's going to be happening in February is we're going to be doing all kinds of things to really improve the condition that you're in, so that all of your regeneration happens much more effectively. Here we go. I'm going to just show you our new calendar, and you're going to see some of the things that you asked for got added. So first of all, we have added the karma clearing on Mondays. So we're going to be doing karma clearing. And that really cleans house, your energy aura. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just letting you know that I listened, I heard you. The first, we're doing bladder health. The second, women's class, Better, Sexier, Me, Healing the Orgasm for Women. The third Wednesday is I Am Loved. And the fourth is Erasing Female Infections, which was a special request. And then we're doing a vision retreat, a 3-hour retreat, a mini retreat. And then the 7 stages of love, and that goes into March. Year of Miracles is also on relationships. And we've moved Unlimited Love up so that you have the whole month for working on and expanding love. So the free community call is going to be on Saturday, the first Saturday, rather than on Valentine's Day, which would have been a couple weeks later. So we've really, oh, and by the way, you might see this, I got interviewed for the Hay House World Summit. So they already did the pre-work with me, and getting some really nice interviews lined up. So we'll be putting those into the Sunday promos for those of you who like to listen to the interviews in the summits. So we're going to be on a bunch of places this year. It's looking good, looking like maybe PBS also maybe getting on PBS, which would be awesome. Okay, so continuing to pump to activate 70 master cells and 40,000 stem cells. Okay, Natalie. Yeah, I felt fabulous, more energy and more grounded. Fantastic, Kim. I noticed it was easier to connect in meditation. Wonderful. Marin, I did the class today and I feel so good. Wonderful. Colleen Madonna, yes, lots of changes, Julie. Still working on the walk-ins and one in my field. Okay, anything you can put in the chat helps me on the phone. Thanks. Okay. And wow, wonderful news and congratulations from Penny May. I'm sure that's in the PBS conversation. Actually, I was interviewed by a guy who's always on PBS, Greg, and he does PBS and NPR, National Public Radio. So I'm going to be speaking with him about getting into and on, yeah. So it's really exciting. Both PBS public TV. I know everything kind of changes. Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson, all of them, they've done their time on PBS. So might be time for Julie Renee too. Yeah, as we progress, when Adelia isn't in my arms, I'll check you guys for walk-ins and clear them again. We're just going to do it every class for a while when we have a chance. So I'll be clearing everybody of walk-ins again this morning. She's just having her cup of tea right now and hiccuping. So when she goes down, I'll clear you guys. Yeah, what a big girl you are. I joined the class today, completed the class this morning. Could you confirm that I have completed the clearing? Thanks. And that's Marianne. Yeah, hang on one second. Yeah, you're 98% clear. I can finish that up for you when I do the walk-ins so that you're 100% clear. And Paula, I did the replay for clearing last night. Am I good to go? Yep. Paula, you're 99%. Yeah, let me know in the chat box if you didn't do the live class last week so that I can just clear everybody to 100%. I'll clear the walk-ins if any walk-ins came back, which I'm sure a couple of people have the walk-ins come back, and then I'll just tune everybody up to 100% who wasn't in class last week. For hormones, when you have a free hand, may I check please my pineal gland, pituitary, and hypothalamus? I tested 100% for all of them with no calcification. Okay, sure. How did you get those silly hiccups? Huh? You got those silly hiccups? Okay, let's see. Let's do a little burp. Okay, so on the muscle testing ones, just give me a minute or two with Adelia, and then I'll go back to muscle testing. I'm just gonna hug her a little bit till she's out of her hiccups. But we'll get all those questions answered I promise. Yeah. Do you want to be in the swing for a while, sweetie? What do you want? It's gonna make you happy. Oh, awesome, Kim. That's great that you're here 100%. That's great. I had 4 in auric field at outer field. Will you have time to cover the outer as well as, please? Yeah. We'll do the body, the aura, and the field, the quantum field. So we'll get all of them. We'll get all of the not parasites, the walk-ins out. And again, everybody is telling them you do not need them any longer. You're ending your agreement with them, and we're coming to the end of that, so that they don't have permission to come back. Okay, let's put you in your swing. You want to go to the swing? Let go. Let go, big girl. Big girl. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Yes, you do. Okay, let's go. Okay. Give you a blankie. Yes. There, nice and warm. Oh, good. All right, hands free. Let's see. All right, so we started with okay, so I'm going to clear walk-ins in a minute. Let me answer a couple questions, and then we'll go to getting everybody cleared. For hormones, check on my pineal gland, and they are all 100% and no calcification. Yes, Penny May. And Joan, I joined the class last night. Joan, not quite. So I think you're about 70% clear. I'll work on helping you clear as I clear walk-ins. And Evelyn had a lot of bloating, which I said, little polyp on my cervix, which she removed, probably benign. No, I think it was probably just really good that it was just perfect timing for you to have that removed. And I didn't see that it was a problem. Oh, what's the matter? Okay, you want me to keep looking at it? Yeah. Okay, you can go. Okay, sweet. Let's see, what else do we have here? And Colleen Madonna is asking, I must be cleared. And yes, 99%. And Saval, I finished clearing today. Am I 100%? 98%. So I'll clear those last little bits for those of you that had a little bit left. I had 4 in the auric field. And I'll clear all the spiritual, not spiritual, all the walk-ins. So I'll do both of that. Maybe I should do that right now. That would be good. Let me just see who else needs it. And Kim, I'll take a look at you. You got 80% on the clearing, so I'll get you to 100%. And Christine, check walk-ins. Yeah, you still do have some walk-ins, Christine, so we'll clear those. Letitia, yes, female bits are definitely feeling better. Oh, good. Okay. Take physical charge on a bulky uterus. Well, I think it's different for every person, but let's just see now that we're going to start the regeneration, because it'll be, hey, oh, she's just ready to fall asleep. Sorry. She's just going to fuss a little bit and then fall asleep. So at least that's my theory. You're just ready to fall asleep? Huh? And just everybody just continue to pump. We're activating the master cells and the stem cells of the entire female baby making equipment. So we're working with everything. Okay. Can you clear my body of lichen planus, or is it clear? It looks like it's 80% clear. And that was Anne. Letitia on the density. Looks like 4 months when I muscle test. And do these clearings apply only to the area of the body we cleared in general for ourselves, and everything improves? Everything can improve, but we are working very specifically in this area. That's why we do the Year of Miracles, because we can work in one kind of region each month, and so we get through the whole body in a year. Pretty close. But you'll see that I pretty much cover the entire body with my programs, whether it's Year of Miracles, Diamond, or these special classes. Songs to sing to Adelia. Yeah. Love the baby sounds from Marion. Thank you. And Joan, thank you. Appreciate it. And Paula missed the class. Would love. Oops. I just don't have. Okay, she's just fallen asleep, you guys. I'm just sure. Check for walk-ins and ghosts. Okay. Well, that's going to be taken care of today. So I will do that in just a moment. Gynecologist also said that my uterus was kind of tilted backwards. Can it get back into a perfect position? It can. It takes focusing and pumping and a little bit of time. But yeah, definitely can. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry to be late. I'm glad to be here. Cindy's here and Jem's here. Good. Jim, you were in class last week, so your clearings are fine, but we are going to clear everyone of walk-ins again. And Kathleen, you're fine. Oksana, how are my DNA blocks and emotional blocks, especially doctor opinion? I had not a good experience today with my OBG, who insisted that I do IVF instead of natural pregnancy because I'll be 42 soon. We'll be out of eggs within a year. How to block this type opinion. I would just clear it and say, that's not me, I don't believe that. And you may have to change doctors and go to someone who believes in you. Hello, I also joined the class 2 days ago and did the first class. Could you check on how much is cleared? And that's Montana. Can't be your name. Let's see. You're about 80% clear. I'm going to clear everybody to 100%, so don't worry that you're not 100%. And Annalise, am I clear now? It's 99% clear. I trust the work today will return the liquid, juicy lubrication that always used to be there. It certainly can. And then, of course, I had suggested that everybody do happy hormones in the middle. So hopefully everybody did take my lead and use the happy hormones meditation, guided meditation. Arena, that's fibroids. And I would definitely do chopping for fibroids. Yeah, that would be awesome. You can disappear fibroids. You totally can. And I've had many people do it. Okay, Adelia's sleeping. Okay. So I've had many people clear fibroids and uterine tumors of all kinds just by doing the chopping. And it doesn't take that long. For some people, they've got it done in 10 to 14 days. They're just completely gone. So it's really on clearing any atheist thought forms that you can't do it, and really believing in yourself that you can do it, and then working on it every single day, so that you're just keep ganging up on it until it's completely disappeared. So you're just like, that's not me. I don't believe in it. So so that's what we're wanting for those of you who might have a fibroid tumor, some cysts, even ovarian cysts can be disappeared that way too. So it's that chopping technique. I'm maneuvering things with my left hand, and I'm not really left-handed. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop answering questions for a minute now that she's asleep, and I'm going to clear walk-ins, and I'm going to clear all of you that aren't at 100% right now. I can put a little bit of music on, and I'm just going to blast like crazy, so you might feel a cool wave coming across you because I'm blasting. It's a perfect time while she's sleeping. And I'll put a little bit of music on, and then just focus really in on getting this done, and then we'll be back to chatting and looking at things again. Let's see if I can see where the music is. There's the music. Gosh, someone thinks we're clearing. We're not clearing, we're regenerating, and we're using the quantum pump. And we've been doing it since the beginning of the class, so I'm a little concerned. I hope all of you know that you're doing the quantum pump, and we're doing regeneration. We're not doing any clearing. No clearing. We did clearing all of last week. This week we're doing regeneration. And that was for Maria, but just a regular quantum pump. And I'm still working on walk-ins. There's more that I need to clear. So I was surprised to see that come up. That okay. Just another couple minutes, and I'll have gotten. Okay, I still see another 9 walk-ins, so I'm just going to keep pounding away until we get them all. And we want everyone here to have a miracle, every single person who's participating. So we're not leaving anybody behind. There's just a couple of you that got a bunch of them, and we're going for them all. Okay, so walk-ins are cleared. We've got a few more clearings for those of you who are new to the call that weren't on last week. So, but we're getting close, another minute or two. Okay, excellent. All right, we have got everybody at 100% on the clearing. We've got all walk-ins cleared. There's one last thing I can do is just check and see if there are any ghosts for any of the students. And we have a beautiful group of people here. So I think so the numbers have grown some this week. So, and I do know there's a few people on the phone line. If Rebecca, if you have a chance, Rebecca, could you text me how many people are on the phone line? That would be just helpful to know. And then I'm just going to, across the board, look and see if there's any ghosts, because those can sometimes interfere with this particular healing also, or this activation rather. So I'm going to get all of the, if there's any ghosts hanging out, I'm going to get them too. And I'd love to know how many people are on the phone line. Okay. Yeah. Oops. And there we go. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay. 16 ghosts. It'll take me about 5 minutes. I know you guys are feeling lighter as a result of this, so I know that it's so worth it. And like I said, what we discovered, if some of you are kind of newer to me, is that if we didn't clear walk-ins and ghosts sometimes, we could do all the activations and you could read like you'd had all the activations and you were good to go, and yet you didn't get the result that other people got. So walk-ins aren't technically considered like spiritual parasites because you invited them in. They're more in the category of spirit guides, which we don't mess with. We just leave them alone. You do whatever you want with your spirit guides. But walk-ins actually occupy part of your body. They own part of your body. Walk-ins, actually I'll work on the ghost thing at the same time. Walk-ins were invited in when you were depressed, when somebody died who you were close to, and you said, I don't know if life's worth living. You had this sadness come over you. Something happened. You went through, you know, should I be alive anymore? Or maybe you went through a serious illness or something like that. They come in at that time, and then they make a bond with you, and then they stay in your body, in your aura, and in your quantum field. And what we're now working on is, and discovering, is that if you don't remove these walk-ins who have agreements with you, you don't get the real regeneration, because you're frozen in the aging process that the walk-ins came in with for you. So you don't get to grow younger or healthier. They don't necessarily make things worse. They just don't allow things to get better. So what we are now doing, and what I'm now doing, is in every class and also every VIP session, is removing the walk-ins and then coming back the next class and seeing, did some of them come back? And then your assignment, of course, is to tell them, I no longer have an agreement with you. I no longer need you. I'm not depressed or sad. I'm not considering suicide. And I'm not giving up my body to somebody else. And what got me kind of aware of walk-ins, which will be very interesting. I promise I'll get to all those questions. We have more than an hour to get to them. But I feel like this is really important to explain, because I know people come through the classes and they're like, well, why didn't I get the shift? And I'm just saying we've finally discovered, you know, what's holding some people back. It's that they're not owning their body 100%. So what got me looking at that was an older sibling who was my brother, had a severe accident, just like me. He died in an accident, and he was in a coma. They revived him. Every bone in his body was broken, and he was in a coma. And he was an unhappy person. He had 16 motorcycles. He was kind of a rebel. He'd been married 3 times. He'd gone through drug rehab like 5 times in his 20s. He was in like lockup for 90 days, like 5 times in his 20s. And he just wasn't a real happy person, and always someone else's fault, everything he blamed people. Anyway, when he was in the coma, a walk-in came in, a female walk-in came in, and he left to a greater degree. He's not really present. And this female walk-in now has owned the body for about 10 years. And she went through a sex change about, I think it's coming up on 2 years ago. And didn't do the surgeries, but went through the hormonal treatments, is dressing like a woman and calling herself, instead of Marty Doring, it's Mary Grace St. Clair. And so that female has actually owned the body very well. And Marty, who was an unhappy person, not happy with his life, has left. Now Marty can't reincarnate until the body dies, which is really interesting. Mary Grace had a quadruple bypass on 2 weeks ago, and she's doing fine. But I don't test that she'll be able to hold the body more than a couple of years more. That she's done a good job of holding on to the body, and she's done a good job taking care of the body. She's done much better than my brother Marty did. So that's the opportunity that walk-ins have, is to take a body from somebody who doesn't want the body anymore. And that's why they latch in, and they're ready for when you go through another depression and you say, okay, I don't want this body, and you let go. So that would be the extreme, and that's the opportunity. And probably more than we realize, walk-ins do get an opportunity to have a body without having to go through being a baby. And it's quite a journey being a baby, right? The teething and the colic and the gas and the not being able to speak and communicate, having to grow up. I know I tested that at least in one lifetime, and I think it was Egypt. Adelia was my mother. And, she's now my daughter. Obviously won't have, well, we'll see what memories she has. But she has to go through all the frustration of being an infant and letting go of much of her information, so that she can be raised and live, a life as my daughter, which I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have a child that I'm really connected with in many ways. So what makes a walk-in is once you're born and you've taken your first breath. So I want to say that spirits change out through gestation too, which will probably surprise people, but I've been studying this, obviously. And the little baby spirit that was originally associated with this body was really pretty beat up with the thoughts the mother had. And I was praying very hard to bring in my own baby spirit. And this daughter, Adelia, took over the body at 8 months gestation, which does not make her a walk-in, because the first breath of life hadn't been taken yet. And the baby spirit who had been associated with this body just went on to find another mommy. And what I want to say about that, just very lovingly, is there were a lot of thoughts about abortion and wish this baby would just die, those kind of things, which beat that baby up. That baby didn't really want to be born to this mother. And then the other interesting thing is that the mother saw an image of me and said, "This is the mother." And when she spoke to me, she said, "You're an amazing mother. You're going to be an amazing mother." And she was very clear that the baby wasn't her baby, even though she was carrying it and she could physically feel all the hormones going on that it was her baby. She felt that it was my baby. So I think, so once first breath is taken, that is the spirit that it has established itself with the body. So the baby spirit could change out 10 times during gestation. After the first breath, then anything that comes in after that is now a walk-in. And typically, there isn't a lot of activity in infancy. However, I've been clearing off walk-ins from Adalia and myself, and I suspect that part of it is we're clearing so many walk-ins. Some of them are a little upset and coming and, you know, hanging out with us, and then we have to just clean them off, like take a shower every day and clean off the walk-ins. So we have hundreds of students in our classes, and we're removing them. So I'm just keeping her all cleaned up. So that's kind of an explanation of why the walk-ins have a kind of power that's, you know, seemingly too much power, and why activations wouldn't go full on. And so that's what we're doing. The other thing then is ghosts, and ghosts are family members who you're entangled with that would be occupying your body. And I saw this specifically with an East Indian immersion student I had, and a grandpa dominating her. And she was a lawyer, and she just was like walking around with like this black energy, this death energy, and they had jumped into her to keep her in line and to control her because she wasn't acting like a traditional Indian woman. She was over in England, and she was independent, and she was in her 40s and a lawyer and successful, but wasn't getting married and having children and doing the traditional East Indian thing. And so they jumped in her to dominate and control her, to suppress her. And so ghosts will tend to jump in to suppress. And or if you are, you've lost a husband, something like that. I've seen that many, many times. The husband just goes into the wife because they have till death do us part, and they just jump in and stay with her until she dies. And we had a lady in our Beautiful Lighten Up program who was also a Diamond Immersion graduate. And in the Diamond class, we discovered that her husband was living inside her. She said, well, I just gained this weight and I can't lose any weight, and I don't know what's wrong. And I could just see, well, oh my gosh, your husband's living inside you. And she had gained this kind of big belly, more than 100 pounds belly, that was his belly. And she had said, I never felt sparkly again. I never saw the sparkle in my eyes after he died. And there were things that she could like point to about something changed in me. And so we removed him. And then she had joined the Beautiful Lighten Up class a few months later, and was able to lose 70 pounds and not have any, you know, just have it kind of melt off. She wasn't doing anything extreme. There was no extreme exercise or dieting. There was no belly band or anything. She just went through our program, and the weight came off. It was a weight that she couldn't drop for like 8 years since her husband had died. So I want to say that that kind of frozen thing can happen with those two things, ghosts, which are family members, and walk-ins, which are invited. And so we look at them almost like spirit guides. So those have to be moved out too. And we don't focus a lot on those in the spiritual interference classes. So now I'm just bringing it into every class. So just wanted you to really deeply understand it. With walk-ins, you have to keep saying, I no longer have an agreement with you, until they don't return anymore, because they will have established themselves. I'll clear them out. I found some more, obviously, in you guys when we came back to class today. So sometimes you have to clear them out 5 or 6 times before they stay out. And part of it is you don't do a battle. You thank them for helping you, that you got the help when you needed it, and then that you are you know, doing well on your own now, and you no longer need their assistance. And so you're not hating them, you're not pushing against them, you're just like ushering them out. Go live your life, do whatever. I'm not giving up this body. I love this body and I'm happy. I think one of the things that people have reported to me is that when the walk-ins are out, they feel less emotional. They feel more calm, serene, more themselves, more kind of natural, and less kind of that edgy or irritable or anxious. So just to be very, very clear about what we're doing. And in these activations, with totally activating and regenerating the female body, there's a tremendous amount of anchoring, which we saw last week on clearings, and a tremendous amount of emotion in the female body. As a matter of fact, I think the uterus and all of the female equipment could be thought of as a third emotional brain. You've got, you know, the emotional brain, which is brain 2. You've got the heart, which is an emotional brain, and that would be like probably our first emotional brain, and this would be our second. And then our third emotional brain would be our uterus, which has so much information. The uterus, ovaries, the whole workings down there. So much emotion down there too. And so when you think about emotion, you also think about emotional anchors, releasing the anchors, and then how things get plugged in to that area. So why would walk-ins be plugged into that area? Lots of emotion down there, right? And that's where they could plug in. That's where they could anchor, because there's a lot of emotion. Emotions are easy to anchor in on. So I hope that's helpful. I think that it's important to understand it, so you're not just like waving your hand, not knowing what you're actually doing, but that to know that you are powerful beyond measure. And I saw someone, Joan, I think, saying that she loved how I said miracles are natural and happen every day. They do. And it's just a matter of figuring out the whole scenario. And that's what I'm here to do with you. So, hooray. Let's take a look at where we're at with our regeneration process, and then I'll go back to answering questions. And we're about 43% through. That's perfect. That's perfect, because I put a lot of energy into clearing you guys the first hour, and I'll be putting energy into regeneration the second hour. So we shouldn't have any problem with this second hour getting through everything. So I'm going to scroll down. I know I haven't been responding for a little while, and I think I'll just double check also on ghosts. We have any ghosts left? 0 ghosts. So no walk-ins, no ghosts, and everybody is at 100% with their clearing. Oh boy, lots of things. Sorry, gosh. Okay, so Colleen had her tubes tied, hasn't had a period in 16 years, early menopause. Okay. And Cindy says, thank you. And Marianne, will this class repeated clear ovarian cancer and tumor on a right ovary? It could. I think you do the clearing and then you do chopping, Marianne. Do you know how to do that? Let me just show you. For those of you who have tumors, once you've gone through all the clearings, and then you can also add to the clearings, you can add the name of whatever your problem is, if it's cancer or whatever. And then you're going to do this chopping technique, and you do it every day for a few weeks. And you can send a bullet pointed short question to me through support, up to 3 to 5 questions or 1 question, and I can give you timelines if, like do it for every other day for 6 months or whatever you need to do. You can send that, you can ask me. So this is chopping. This is the double pump. Fingers are loose. Chopping, fingers are like chopping, like a sculptor chopping on a block of marble. So that's chopping. And then you're focused in your chopping is just going out, and you're imagining chipping away until the tumor growth, whatever, disappears entirely and completely. Again, you're activating how the particles are vibrating in you, and you're removing that which no longer serves you. And that's why we do that love wisdom affirmation at the beginning of our session every time. I'm free to live a life of spiritual freedom and remove those things that are no longer serving me, that no longer match with my essence or my essential nature. And you might also look at if you've had cancer or you are dealing with a growth or a tumor, what possible advantage could you get out of having that? Would it be attention that you needed? Maybe doctors are giving you attention and fussing, and you're getting importance. Maybe your friends are rallying for you, or maybe it's more proof that you're alone, and you needed more proof that you have to do everything alone. There's always something that you can look for that looks like an anchor that you can unhook that makes sense, so that you don't have to repeat it again. You can remove it and say, I'm never doing this again. But it's also good to look at, what did you get from it? So we always get something from it. We always, whether we learn something or there's something emotional we get from that, something we get on a physical level. So there's something, and sometimes we just take it on to learn something. We learn what it's like to have a really sick body, or a body that's failing. So, where we can recover again, hopefully, all of us. Okay, my dears. So that's chopping, and chopping is done for any tumors or growths. Cindy said thank you. And ovarian cancer. Chantel, I did an email about possibility of heavy sweating being due to sexual vitality repression. No one knows what it is about or how to shift it. Thanks in advance. I did send an email. Okay, let's see. Okay, for you, it's an alien issue. So I'll just grab my chart here, and we'll locate what it is so that you can remove it. I thought, and it's so funny, I must have been tapping into you and maybe some other people on the call today. I said, I'll bet there's going to be some medical questions of nobody can figure out what this is. So let me just give you the what it is. I'm going to just pull up my charts here. Here we go. Reptoid 5, embedding, portals, mechanisms, and seeds. Unforgiveness is the emotional anchor, and black magic is another. It's like a program, an anchor. Satyr is also involved there. Mechanism, holographic insert, wormhole, and embedding. Malice and timeline energetic are the anchors. Zeta, which is a reptilian. Portals and seeds are the anchors. Resentment, disappointment, and unforgiveness are the emotional anchors. Evil spirit, curse, and agreements. Recticulin B, gosh, there's a lot going on there. Embedding, holographic inserts, wormholes, seeds, and DNA splicing are the anchors. Blaming, deception, and bitterness are the emotional anchors. Demonic curse and contracts. Ashtar, break-off command. Embedding, DNA splicing. Burrower, which is type 3. Permeations, holographic inserts, DNA splicing. Reptoid, chameleon reptoid. Permeations, holographic inserts, mechanisms, nanotechnology. Demon, permeations, portals, holographic inserts. Blame, resentment, and sorrow. Trauma, and snakes, wormholes, unforgiveness, greed. Okay. By the way, if you didn't get all of that written down, honey, the transcription for this will be up in a week. So you can go to, about 2/3 of the way through the class and you can get the transcription. So that is what's going on there. And that was for Chantel. And B, what would the extra benefit be for pumping for 3 hours daily as you suggested? If you were growing something new, or I don't know what I suggested it for, B. Could you give me a better explanation of that question? Okay, and Arena, you're welcome. And Oksana, thank you. Yes, I will search for a doctor who believes in a natural approach versus putting chemicals in your body. Jem, I have little sensation in my vaginal area. Difficult getting orgasm due to low sensitivity in my clitoral area. Can you tell me why and can we fix this? And that is actually why I showed you we've got that next class coming up where we actually work on fixing that. So getting the energy activations going in the Sexier Me class. That's going to happen in like a week or 2 weeks maybe. Okay, Jem. Let's see here. I would suggest, though, I'm not going to just leave you without any information. I don't see interferences as the first cause. I see anchors and, let's see, seeds you could clear, embedding, portals, wormholes. So those came up as the first issue would be anchors. And then I just wonder, when we look at anchors, we also have to look at emotions. Yeah. Hatred, resentment, anger, unforgiveness, blame, deception, disappointment, sorrow, bitterness. We'll do a much deeper dive, honey, on this in that class. So I really hope that you jump into that class. But that'll give you something to start working on. And yes, I totally believe in your capacity to heal. There's no reason that you can't have great orgasms. Okay. Kim, I am in menopause and single, but my guides were very insistent to do this class. We'll let you know if that next husband shows up when we are done. That's great. Wonderful. I do your meditation 2 a day for elimination of fibroids now. Okay, Arena, good job. And Katrina, I would need also help with believing that I can get results with this technique. And I think, Christina, one of the things is once you start having a few little miracles, you're going to notice that you believe more. But let me show you something that I think it's going to be fun for you to see. On our website, we have, let me just show you, as we continue to pump for the regeneration, we've got pages and pages of miracles. In addition to every enrollment page, we've also got like client transformations and our miracles contest. So if you went into the website here under transformations, here we go. We're going to open this up a little bit. So there you go. There's client miracles here. And then there's summer miracles contest that we did last summer. We'll do it again this year. And you go into, say, any of these, because you're going to see videos, you're going to see all the miracles. So here's the winner circle. And, you can just read about all the people. Penny May, there you are, yay. And all the people have had miracles, one after another. People just like you. Mhm. So I encourage you to get, the information, the validation, the um, clearing atheist thought forms, and then, looking at all the people who had transformations. Vertigo's gone, no longer unable to go outside. This one gal was shut in. She wouldn't go out of her house, and she had some miracle transformations and really started having an active life again. Um, Trevor got his muscles without loose skin. I mean, that's fantastic for him. Things in the family have improved. I feel much lighter. So that's one of the places I would suggest that, just getting proof for yourself that this can happen for you. If you haven't seen this video right here, Carolyn Stevens, Raised from the Dead, I really encourage you to watch this video. You're going to cry through it. It's so amazing. This woman, literally, her life force was like at 2% when she got to me. She'd had her colon removed. And she was a former nun, married really late in life. And her story is so amazing. It's about a 19-minute video. And it's just so heart-touching. And eventually, we grow back her colon for her. She has a normal life. She has a 16-year-old daughter. There's some pretty awesome results. Oh, and here is the sibling who's now a woman. So this is when he was still a man. And so that's my brother, who is now a sister. So there's a lot of proof for you. Jack Canfield, obviously, there's lots of nice proof for you to see that others can do it. And then you have to remove your atheist thought forms. So you have to, let go of those thought forms that say, this is not for me. And that usually comes, it can come from family programming, but it usually comes from walk-ins and ghosts. So it's usually not yours, or it comes from spiritual interferences, because your body knows that it can regenerate. Your body knows that it's natural. Okay, so that was Christina, and Maria G. are, okay, and I got that one, and happy hormones. Well, Evelyn, you did it about 80%, but today we're doing it with the quantum activation. So I felt like you guys would be ahead for today if we had you do the homework with the meditations. So that's why I had you do that. So you did good. You got 80%, and if you're not an expert using that style of meditation, that's fantastic. That's a great result. And you would just do it more than once. But here we're actually activating you so that you're getting 100% result now. So you don't have to worry, but you did a good job. Okay, and Maria says thank you, and Kathleen Lou says thank you, and B says, I love the way you say miracles become normal, and thank you for making sure that everyone is clear of walk-ins. You're welcome. Ooh, hey little one, what's going on? You want your milk now? She fell asleep before she had her milk, so let's see if that's the trouble. Yeah, you just had one sip and then you were asleep. What happened? There we go, little one. There's my good girl. Okay. Ghosts can return. Yeah, I mean, we don't kill off ghosts. One of the things I do with ghosts, especially in the diamond class, is we give them an opportunity to go, if they're a family member, into a healing temple. We bring Jesus in and help them move on. Saval, 5 or 6 years old, did I come into my body? Yeah, you did. if I came into this body when I was, it looks like 6 years old, need to clear something special? No. Nope. Could my brother have been a walk-in? I lost him when I was 17. Yes, he was a walk-in. Yes. And Chantel said that felt great. Good. And the answer on ghosts and walk-ins is that they can return. I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on everybody as much as I can and keep clearing. I'm really passionate about this, and you can also muscle test and clear on it too. Take the classes. Take the 7-hour class, and we've got 3 classes on clearing spiritual interferences, and then we've got a class on clearings, which are like bloodline and clan and things like that. Take all those classes, because those are the classes where you really master the clearing techniques. Okay. My father died as a child and often thought that I have started to believe in several ways he liked. He hope that now I am clear. Was he? Ghost. Yep, you are clear, and he was a ghost around you. Okay, very helpful. Thank you. And that was from Cindy. And then Kathleen Liu. I feel like there is a ghost of my brother-in-law and my oldest son. He has gained weight. His body is looking like more brother-in-law. Our son was a big guy, but not like this. Ghosts don't come with permission, by the way. But they have anchors, emotional anchors and family anchors like bloodline and clan, and then emotional anchors, and that's how they get themselves in. And oopsie. Okay, sweetheart. You were too wiggly. You want the milk, you've got to stop wiggling so much. Okay, let's do a big crumper. You want to do a big crumper for Mama? I'm sure that's it. Come on, look this way. Oh, do a big crumper. Okay, sweetheart. There it is, almost there. Almost there. Kathleen Liu, I just want to validate you that you're right, that brother-in-law did come in. It's a funny thing because it is a walk-in, so it's an agreement. So it's not just a ghost. He didn't just pop in as a ghost. He came in as a walk-in. So the agreement has to be ended and then moved out. So that's what that's all about. Yay, thank you for clearing out all the ghosts too. You're welcome. Can't hear you anymore. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Sound is back. Something to see Adelia swinging in the background. So soothing. Oh yeah, she had a nice little nap there. Thank you, Chopping, very good. Thank you for letting us know more about walk-ins and ghosts, very helpful, very good, you're welcome. Chantel, I'm not sure what to do with that information. What class do I take so I clear it all, please? Thank you so much for the info, appreciate it. P.S. I had fibroid mass in my breast since 2013. Since clearing class last week, it's not there anymore. Oh my God, Chantel, I'm thrilled for you. You know, I think given you had so much, I would love to see you in the 7-hour class or the anchors and interference class, just where you learn how to clear each one by one. You can go after all of that with maybe like the doorknob or chopping. Either one of those would potentially be good, but it would be better for you to be in the energy of one of the classes or come into the diamond class when it comes around again. And all of those, I don't know if we have the diamond as that you can do a home study. I think we do actually, but I think the most recent, if you took the most recent of the classes that we taught on spiritual interferences, you'd get all the information on how to clear each thing. Yeah, Maria, keep pumping. And then if you can sign in on the phone, you can Skype into our phone line. The phone line is up on the top of the text, the chat here. So you can just see there's the 425 number up there. So if you have trouble with your computer, just sign in on the phone line. At last PAP, Gyn could not go in deep enough because my body would not allow it. She talked about vaginal atrophy, more emotional after my beloved mate developed, have been celibate for these years. No canal changes and be renewed. It's such a deep knowing in me. Would you agree? Everything can be healed. Everything can be restored. So I think one of the things you have to start doing, though, is imagining that you're a juicy, active woman again. And anything, even something that's completely dead or missing, can be activated and re-energized. So just know that the atrophy can become alive again. Thank you so much for the information and the clearings. You're welcome, Christina. No, you don't have to keep your eyes open when pumping. Sometimes I feel more focused with my eyes closed. Either way is okay. I think the one thing is to just not float away. Yeah, I think for Annalise, do come into the juicier, sexier me class too. So we're doing this regeneration, you do the happy hormones at home, the meditations, and then the sexier me class, because that's going to be working on, really the orgasm itself, the juices, the internal workings. We're going to be working on that. Christina, thank you so much for the information. Okay, and Penny May, thanks so much. Julie Renee, you're amazing. Thank you. And Colleen Madonna, this is so big for me with my brother. Now he will be set free to come back again. A human, didn't mean to keep bringing it up. This is life-changing for me. Okay, honey, don't pull my hair. Okay. Oh, right. Legal Worm also loves to pull mommy's hair. I've cut like 6 inches off, but it's still long hair, so she's going for it. Where others to Mumkin and Dad means a lot. Thank you and bless you, Julie, for I love you dearly. Thank you. Yeah, not all of those letters came out right. I don't know quite what it all meant, but I got the gist of it. Colleen Madonna, you're welcome. You're very welcome. B, I'm intending to become pregnant. Would extra clearings or pumping for regeneration help me after this class? And if so, how many hours per day? I would love to see you also in the baby connection, quantum baby connection, because we go through clearings so that you get connected with your baby spirit. So I think that would be awesome if you haven't done it already. And if you have, then just revisit that in the member site. So if you've done that, I would love to see you doing that, because I go in and connect the baby spirit, and we really work on kind of a different aspect of how pregnancy happens. How often would you recommend to do the happy hormones meditation for best results? Maybe every other month, maybe 6 times. I mean, I think that was for you, by the way. I just tested for you. It was every other month for six times. So it'd be this month, and that's January, and then you'd go March, and then you'd go, and you just go through the year every other month, maybe every 8 weeks. Thank you so much for the feedback about my son. I'm going to check in with my son about that, and for March foundational apprentice classes can pump for him with permission. Feels right at this time in designing your DNA. Kathleen Liu, I would love for you to be an apprentice, and Rebecca would love to enroll you when you're ready. So just reach out to her and we'll get you started. Okay. And you did it last year. You know, B, I thought you did. So just go into your member site and revisit it now that we've done this beautiful tune-up. Everything helps. Everything works together. And if there's some specific thing that you can see you're blocked in or you have a question about, just send it through support to me. I'm happy to look again a little deeper. Sorry for the spelling. Can't see what I'm writing. Were the other two walk-ins my mom and dad? Your dad, yes, not your mom. And I don't know who else. Hi, sweetie. Hi, little pumpkin. Hey, little pumpkin. Hey, little pumpkin. My little rosebud. Do you want to see everybody? Which means you only get to see yourself, really. Do you want to see everybody? Hey. Hey, hi. Did you have a nice nap? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, let's look. Let's say hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. I got my mama where I want her. This is Adelia's favorite way to sit. She's got her little knees underneath like right there. Her little feet are on my legs and her knees are underneath. And she loves curling into me this way. This is her favorite way. I got my mama. And we sit in the rocking chair this way all the time. And then she puts her head on my chest and we do a big rock, don't we? We do the rock. And now you've gotten so strong, you stand up a lot too. Yeah, hi everyone. Can you say hi everyone? Hi everyone, I'm crabby today. But I'm doing really good, even though I'm a little crabby. Yeah. Okay, okie dokie. Say hi. Hi. You want that milk again? There we go. Okay, well, lots and lots of good questions. I'd like to check in on where we are with our regeneration. And we want to make sure that everybody's getting the regeneration. So let's just take a minute here. Yes, good girl. Okay. So it looks like, this is fascinating, and I've never tested this before. Looks like 3 of you are not getting the regeneration. And I was praying right before the class that every single person who's in the class get a miracle. So I am going to do a little bit of research on why 3 of you aren't getting regeneration. Okay, it looks like there are 6 anchors that prevent regeneration. And do they have to do with... And they're in DNA. Okay, this is really good. Not in the resets. A program in the DNA for a few of you. Let's see. Okay, good. I got a yes that I can clear it. So I'm going to do a little activation. I'm going to do another blast in just a minute here. And see if we can get all of us, every single person. I want it too, because I've been trying to grow my uterus and ovaries back, and so far haven't been able to. And I just keep asking, what else, what else, what else? And I did test that I'm getting the regeneration, so that's awesome. But 3 of you aren't yet, and we've got some time to correct that. So let's go for that. Kathleen is already an apprentice. Okay, fantastic. Yay. Kathleen is already an apprentice. Yay! You know what I really want, Rebecca? I would like a picture of every one of my apprentices, because I see names in the chat box and I see people here week after week, but I don't see their faces.